Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a bit of a snag that might have caught some of you Nintendo Switch gamers out.
Yeah. What's happening?
Well, it's about the recent changes to the Nintendo Switch terms of use. Specifically, this new requirement to confirm your email address.
Okay. That sounds maybe a bit dry, technical admin stuff.
It does sound like that, but stick with us because this is actually pretty crucial for, keeping your games running smoothly and accessing your account.
Right. And I gather this hasn't been totally straightforward for everyone.
Not at all. The main issue seems to be this email verification step. It's causing real problems for some people, especially those who've, say, canceled an old email address. Think like those at docomo.ne.jp addresses.
Oh, right. Yeah, if you don't have access to that email anymore, I can see the problem. You're all set to play, and then suddenly, boom, blocked by an old email address.
Exactly.
Uh,
Total frustration. So our mission today really is to clear this up, give you a clear step-by-step guide if you're in this specific situation, if you're locked out.
Okay. So where are we getting this info from?
We've looked at the official Nintendo support pages
Oh,
and also checked out what people are saying, sharing their experiences on places like X.
right.
We want to give you a direct path, basically, to sort this out.
Sounds good. A quick guide to untangling the email knot.
Precisely. So let's start with the why. Why is this even happening?
Okay, so Nintendo updated their Switch terms of use, and part of agreeing to these new terms now involves verifying the email linked to your account. It's, pretty standard stuff, usually often about boosting security, making sure everyone's aware of the latest policies.
But if you don't agree, or you can't because of this email issue,
Hmm.
the consequences are quite serious, right? It's not just a polite request.
No, not at all. If you don't complete this step, you actually get restricted. You can't play games, can't access your account settings properly.
Wow.
And the specific scenario we really need to focus on is when your linked Nintendo account email is one you've canceled. That, at Docomo example, is like a prime case.
And the key thing you found from digging into this.
Yeah, the really important finding is that for this specific problem, the canceled email address problem, the only way forward seems to be contacting Nintendo support directly. The usual self-service options just won't work here.
Right. Because normally changing your email isn't that hard, is it?
No, usually it's pretty straightforward. You just log into your account on the Nintendo website, find the edit email address option. It's under sign in and security settings.
And they send a code to the old email.
Exactly. They send a verification code there.
Yeah.
You enter that code, then type in your new email address, verify that, and, job done.
But that whole process grinds to a halt if you can't get into that old email in the first place.
Precisely. It's a dead end. No code, no change. You're stuck. Which leads to the obvious question. Okay, what do you do then?
And the answer, confirmed by Nintendo's own support info and, like we said, backed up by user reports on X, is you absolutely have to contact Nintendo support.
Yeah, it's the official route for this specific lockout scenario. It seems they have a process just for this kind of edge case.
So it's not just a workaround. It's the intended solution.
It seems so. Their own support documentation points you this way if the standard email change fails. And we saw that post on X, didn't we? Someone mentioned they emailed Nintendo.
Oh, yeah, they included their Switch serial number right away.
And got a really quick response. Which is a great tip, actually. Suggests having key info ready can really help.
Definitely good advice. Okay, so for our listeners in Japan dealing with this, how do they actually contact support? What are the options?
There are two main ways recommended. First, telephone support. Nintendo apparently suggests this route if you want a potentially faster resolution.
Okay, phone for speed. What's the other way?
There's also an online contact form. You'll usually find the link labeled as something clear, like support inquiry.
And that's maybe better if you want to write out the whole situation in detail.
Exactly. Gives you space to explain everything clearly.
Right. Now, whichever way you go, phone or online, you need to have some specific information ready, don't you? This is the verification part.
Absolutely crucial. They need to be sure it's really you before they change sensitive account details. Think of it like proving your identity digitally.
So what's top of the list?
The number one thing seems to be your Nintendo Switch console's serial number.
Where do you find that again?
It's printed on a sticker, usually on the bottom edge of the console itself. Or you can find it in the software. Go to System Settings, scroll down to System, and then select System Information.
Got it. Serial number? What else?
You'll also want to have a rough idea of some games you've purchased digitally on that account and maybe the approximate dates you bought them.
Okay, like your purchase history.
Exactly. You can usually check that history in the Nintendo eShop on your Switch or via the website.
Makes sense. Anything else?
Yep, the date of birth registered to the account, that's a pretty standard security check.
Okay, DOB.
And finally, they mention needing potentially other information that can prove your identity, which sounds a bit vague, but
Could be things like maybe if you've contacted support before, like an old ticket number.
could be. Or maybe details about linked services, perhaps. The main point is, have the serial number, purchase info, and DOB ready. And like that user on X found, that serial number seems particularly helpful for speeding things up.
Right. Good prep saves time. Okay, so you've gathered your info, you've contacted support. What happens next? What's the process like?
Okay, let's map out the likely flow. This is based on the official guidance and those user reports we mentioned.
Step 1.
Step 1, explain your situation clearly. Tell them, I need to change my account email. My old one is canceled. I have zero access to it. Just lay out the problem.
Okay, state the issue, then what?
Then comes the identity check. They'll likely ask you questions using the info you've prepared. What's your console serial number? Can you confirm your date of birth? Tell us about some recent digital purchases.
This is where having that info ready really pays off.
Absolutely. Makes it much smoother. Once they're satisfied, it's you.
Then you give them the new email.
Correct. You provide your new working email address, one you definitely can access. They will then update this on their side in their system.
And how do you know it's done?
You should get some kind of confirmation, a notification from support saying, okay, we've updated your email address.
Great. So new email is in the system. Are you done then? Back in the game.
Almost. There's one final crucial step you need to take.
Okay. What's that?
After support updates it, Nintendo will send an email to your new address, the one you just gave them.
Okay.
Inside that email, there'll be a link. You need to click that link and follow the instructions on the screen. This is how you formally agree to the updated terms of use using your new verified email address.
I see. So support changes it, but you still have to click that link in the new email to finalize everything and accept the terms.
Exactly. That click confirms everything from your end.
And once you've done that, click the link, agree to the terms, then you should be good to go.
That should be it.
Yeah.
Full access restored. Games, account settings, everything back to normal.
Yeah. Okay.
It's worth noting, we didn't find tons of detail about what exactly changed in the terms of use themselves, at least as of when we looked. But honestly, for anyone locked out.
The main thing is just getting access back, right?
Exactly. And this process, contacting support, verifying, updating the email, clicking the final link, that is the established way to solve this specific lockout problem.
Okay, that's really helpful. Looking beyond just fixing this immediate issue, are there things people can do to maybe prevent this kind of hassle in the future?
Definitely. The absolute number one thing is keep your Nintendo account email address up to date. Always make sure it's an email you actively use and can access.
So if you're planning to switch email providers, update your Nintendo account before you lose access to the old one.
Precisely. Treat it like updating your address with the bank. It's important digital housekeeping, really. Good digital hygiene for your gaming life.
Makes total sense. Any other tips? You mentioned security earlier.
Yeah, enabling two-step verification is always a good idea. It adds a significant security layer.
How does that help with email issues specifically?
Well, primarily it secures your account better overall. But having robust security and recovery options in place might just make processes like account recovery or email changes, potentially, a bit smoother down the line, though its main job is preventing unauthorized access.
Okay. And people can find out how to set that up on the Nintendo support site.
Yep, they've got guides for setting up two-step verification. It usually involves an authenticator app on your phone. It's a small effort for quite a bit more peace of mind.
Good advice. Okay, so let's just quickly recap the key takeaway then.
Sure. If you're locked out of your Switch account right now because your old linked email was canceled after this terms of use update hit.
Don't panic. The clear path forward is contacting Nintendo support.
That's right. Give them a call that might be quicker, based on reports, or use the online support inquiry form.
And crucially, have your information ready before you contact them.
Especially that Nintendo Switch console serial number. And your date of birth, and maybe some recent game purchase details. Having that ready seems to really help speed things along.
You know, this whole situation, it really highlights something broader, doesn't it?
How so?
Just the importance of keeping your contact details up to date across all your important online accounts, not just Nintendo.
Oh, absolutely. It seems like such a small thing, updating an email here or there.
Yeah, but as we've seen, letting it slide can lead to some pretty major disruptions and headaches, like being locked out of your games.
True. It's a bit of basic digital life management, really. Saves a lot of potential frustration later.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Take a few minutes sometime soon. Think about your important online accounts, gaming, banking, email itself.
Hmm.
Is your recovery information, your contact email, actually current and accessible?
It might just be the perfect time for a quick digital checkup. You never know when you might need it.